The Big Bark. Listen up, dog owners. It's for you, all you canine lovers. It's your favorite podcast, The Big Bark, with your host, Darragh Bourke, and canine co-hosts, Bruno and Millie. The Big Bark.
Hello and a very big welcome back to the Big Bark Podcast, the show that is barking mad about your dog, and it brings all the latest news from the canine world directly to you. I am joined, as always, by my lovable, biggest rogues in the world, my Princess Millie, who is the most adorable, cutest, roguish golden Labrador that you will probably ever meet. And if you do meet her, she will demand like 5 gazillion rubs from you and lots of belly scratches. And then you have Bruno, who is my trusting, loyal, and noble, as he was once told, Bloodador, which, if you don't know what Bloodador is, he is a cross between a bloodhound and a Labrador. Pretty simple, really. If you want to see some photos of these two beautiful doggies, they're on Instagram and they can be found at Bruno and Millie. Just Bruno _and Millie. So you can find some pictures of them there. So last week we had a fantastic episode. We had Danny Brady from Swords and Paws in Galway on, talking about fear-free grooming. And once again, we have hit the #1 spot on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever they call themselves now, but in the pets and categories, in the pets and animals category rather, in Ireland. And we have gone into the top 30 in the kids and family category in Ireland, and a number of other categories throughout the world as well. So once again, we are delighted for that. I've been waiting to kind of do that because I haven't actually used that sound effect yet, so perfect timing for it, really. So today we're coming to you on a different day to normal. Today we are coming to you on the 7th of June, which is the Bank Holiday Monday. Our normal air date would be around Thursday, Friday, generally later in the week. But the reason we are coming to you on this lovely, beautiful Bank Holiday, if it's raining and I got that wrong, this is pre-recorded, so I'm just taking a look at the weather and hoping there will be lovely and sunny and a beautiful Bank Holiday weekend. But today is a big day for many, many businesses and many people working in the hospitality industry in Ireland. Now, we won't talk too much about pubs because, well, that's not what we're here to talk about. But today is the first day since December that pubs, restaurants, cafes can all properly open for outdoor dining. So it's wonderful to actually see that day come around at long last. And for a lot of people, the pub, the local cafe, just even sitting out somewhere with a cup of coffee is something that has been missed for dog owners. Because this will have been a great way to meet other dog owners, because you do see it a lot in dog-friendly venues, that a lot of dog owners do go there to meet up and just chat away to each other. And today, we can finally, once again, start to do that. So, it's only fitting that we talk about all things dog-friendly Ireland on today's show. And to do that, it would again only be fitting to chat to the owner of dogfriendlyireland.ie. And that is Marion Doyle. Marion, a huge welcome to the Big Bark.
Hi, thank you very much for having me.
Delighted to have you on. And so, Marion, first of all, tell us a bit about the actual website. Tell us about Dog Friendly Ireland. Where did the idea come from?
Yeah, sure. It was last August, and it started because I was on a staycation and I was with my dog. And the same as has happened loads of times, I've been there in a new place after having a really lovely walk with my dog, worked up a lovely appetite and couldn't find anywhere that I could go and eat, sit down, do anything. Searched on Google, searched everywhere, nothing was coming up. So just had to go to the local garage, get a roll and eat it in our car. So I set up an Instagram page. I was going out I had a couple of places in my head and I was just researching all the time. So I kind of had known a couple of things. So I kind of set up an Instagram page going, oh, sure, like, I'm sure there's going to be more when I put it out there. More places are going to come forward. And the end goal was always to get a website, to get somewhere that you can go on. You can do a quick search. If you're in a different county, you can see what's beside you that you can do with your dog. So that's kind of where the idea came about, to be honest.
And how has it been going so far for you?
Yeah, really, really good. Really, really positive feedback. I can't believe from where we started, not even a year ago, to the amount of places that I didn't even know about that have come forward that are dog friendly, to let us know they're dog friendly. So yeah, that's really, really positive.
And Marion, I suppose just like what you were saying there, you had to go for, like, when you were staycation, you had to go for, like, to the local garage for running your car. Like, Ireland is really on the catch up compared to other European countries. Like, we haven't traditionally been the most dog friendly country, especially in terms of pubs, restaurants, even hotels. It's now only that Ireland is catching up.
Yeah, that's true. So literally up until 2017, Darragh, dogs weren't even allowed in an establishment, in a cafe, a restaurant. It was literally law. It wasn't. So they changed the law. They are allowed in now. So there is 3 kind of stipulations just to kind of break it down. So one is the owner has to allow it. So that's kind of the law. The dog must be kept on a lead and they're not allowed in the kitchen. So once the owner says it's okay, you can bring your dog in and just keep it on the lead. And yeah, so that's only 2017. Like, that's not that long ago. So since then, I think it's come on heaps and bounds. I've even seen it in the last 12 months, especially.
And do you think COVID, and I suppose the fact that, like, a lot more people have had to staycation over the last 12 months and 14 months, that do you think COVID has had a big impact on the decision of venues to actually allow dogs?
Yeah, it has. And I think they're even seeing the benefit of businesses themselves, that there's so many families that the dog is part of the family, that they do want to bring them, that if they open their doors to them, that they'll get all these customers and they'll get this business. And yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah, I even noticed it down here. Like, I'm based down in Limerick, like, and I've noticed it with a lot of, I suppose, pubs, especially pubs that have outdoor areas. There's been 1 or 2 that have always kind of allowed the dogs just outdoors, but I'm seeing them at a lot more pubs now. They're really definitely seeing the benefit of it. And you see a lot of pubs that have, and restaurants that have, like, doggy bowls, and even, like, I think there's 1 or 2 that actually give out free puppuccinos to the dogs, like, and it really is great to see that, like, venues are welcoming dogs and are welcoming them in as, like you say, as part of the family.
As part of the family, yeah.
And tell me, like, another thing I suppose is for accommodation. Like, that's always been a tricky one for dog owners as well. Like, a lot of hotels have never really liked the idea of having a dog inside in their hotel rooms. But that's changing too, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. And it used to be just small dogs only. Now, it's not to say that that's not still happening, but there's a lot. And there's definitely a lot more places around the country. I'm seeing it more and more. Places that I wouldn't have thought you would have been allowed actually bring a dog. You can. All sizes, all breeds, which is brilliant. And definitely, and it goes from every kind of budget. It's the low budget ones, the high budget ones. I can see there's more and more cottages that are becoming really popular. And I think a cottage holiday is absolutely brilliant with your dog, especially if you have a nervous dog and you don't want to be bringing them in around a hotel and it's busy and it's noisy. I actually think cottage holidays are a really, really good idea with your dog, or holiday homes or caravans or anything like that, especially if they're nervous and they haven't been out, or it's their first trip and you want to test the waters. It's definitely brilliant, yeah.
And do you find, like, a lot of people out there, a lot of dog owners, do you think a lot of dog owners actually know, I know the service that you're trying to provide to people, do you think a lot of dog owners know, though, that, like, these venues exist?
No, definitely not. And as I said, I was searching last year, and every other year. Every holiday I go on, I bring my dog. So it wasn't as if last summer was the first time. The last summer was just the last straw. But I would have researched a lot, and I'm surprised the amount of places that have come forward now to let me know they're dog friendly, and they hadn't it on a website, they hadn't it on their Instagram, they hadn't it on their social media. So it was very hard to find. So now I think they've come to the realization that, and a lot of people mightn't have approached them about it, but now they know that they have to put it out there, because I think when they have it out there, people really understand that they are dog friendly, and they are welcome that little bit more if they have it on their social media, and you maybe mightn't feel as a bit awkward about going or ringing up and asking. So definitely it used to be very, very hard to find places, but I do think, and especially with the website, hopefully it's making it a bit easier for some people to find places anyway.
So, give me a couple of examples. Where would you consider to be the most dog-friendly counties in Ireland?
Well, I think anywhere with a beach. I think the west of Ireland, the Wild Atlantic Way, that's really come on. If you're looking for places over there, especially literally from Donegal down, I don't have allegiance to one particular county, but I do see a lot of Donegal comes up. Seems very, very dog friendly in terms of there's pubs there, there's restaurants there, there's accommodation there, there's a few holiday homes there. You also have the beaches and everything like that. So if you're looking for that kind of a trip, it's brilliant. Dublin is obviously mightn't be as good in the accommodation front, but in terms of cafes and restaurants, that has just multiplied in terms of what's dog friendly in Dublin in the last couple of years. Really, really has. Yeah, I probably couldn't pick one, but yeah, they're definitely getting better and better. But what's brilliant about some places is, and I know myself, you might rock up and it might have an outdoor seating area, and you'd ask, can I have my dog and can you sit outside or whatever? But a little, if they were to give you a dog bone or a biscuit or have a bowl of water for your dog, it just makes some difference, because you feel like, am I supposed to be here? Am I not? But when they do that, you kind of feel a little bit like, I'm allowed here. This is okay. I'm kind of welcomed. I'm not out of place. Like, so that's just a really nice kind of idea that especially, or as you mentioned, the puppuccinos. If you get a puppuccino, dog owners in Ireland are going absolutely crazy for puppuccinos right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think my own two, Bruno and Millie, they had their first puppuccino there, I think it was about 3 to 4 weeks ago. There was a lovely little venue in Limerick, Maggie Choose is the name, but they're only open for takeaway obviously at the moment. But when you buy a tea or coffee, like they give you, or it's something stronger as well, because they're all doing the takeaway points now, but they give a little puppuccino for the dogs, and I was hoping to get a picture of it, but it was literally gone. It was just gone in a second.
Yeah. Very hard to give the puppuccino, take the Instagram photo and hold the lead at the same time. It's usually gone, but it does make a difference, doesn't it? You just feel a little bit more, welcome.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned beaches. Now, I know a lot of different county councils have different regulations regarding dogs on beaches. I know, for example, Clare County Council are very strict, where there's no dogs on the beach at certain times during the day. And do you find that would put people off going to certain counties if the beach laws, for example, on the Wild Atlantic Way are stricter?
Yeah, definitely. I'm from Carlow, so when we had restrictions there for a while, we were just craving the beach so much. So we finally got to it there in the last couple of weeks. But it would definitely put me off if there was signs up about no dogs, even if it was limited to the time. I think I had a lovely experience in Wexford last weekend where I seen they even had waste disposal bins and everything around the place, and they had the dog signs, and there was a coffee van at the end to give away their puppuccinos, and they had a little bowl of water and stuff like that. So definitely I'm going to go to that kind of a beach in Wexford over any other beach, if there's a sign or a restriction and stuff like that. Yeah. And it was the most immaculate beach as well, because people might think dogs are dirty and people don't clean up after them, but it was the cleanest beach I've actually ever been on. It was so clean.
You see, that's part of the problem too, that people do have this perception of a lot of dog owners, and granted, there are dog owners out there who don't clean up after their dogs, but I do know, like you mentioned Wexford there, and I do know a good friend of the show, Kieran Sheehan from Upmets, actually supplies his bags down to, I think it's a Wexford town and a few of the council down in Wexford, and he supplies up to Galway as well. I remember there was one time I was up on the beach, one of the beaches in Galway, and came across a load of his, like a big dispenser of his bags, and it is great to see like just things like that to make it easier for dog owners as well. Like, to have the bags there, it's not something you have to be worrying about carrying like with you when you're going on holidays, because obviously that's not something that's on the front of your mind. You're thinking like, oh god, what's in the suitcase, what's not in the suitcase. You're not thinking are the dog poop bags in the suitcase. And it's great when you see councils like that actually have these facilities in place, and you know from that they're welcoming like dog owners into their community.
Yeah. No, it's really nice. It's really positive. I'd love to see more, to be honest, in the city. Even walking on any walks, or some parks, I suppose, have them. But you probably go on 10 walks, and I'd probably 9 walks you wouldn't see a bin, and only 1 walk you would. Like, so they're definitely rare. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's where I'm walking, but I definitely would love to see them more and more around the place, and I think it would entice people to go there more as well. Like.
Yeah, definitely. And tell me then, like, I'm actually looking on the website here now, and you have a number of different sections. You have accommodation, you have eat and drink, you have services, you have see and do. So, what exactly, like, I see, looking at the see and do here, I see go paddle.ie.
Yes.
So, would you explain to me what could dog owners do with the dog on, like, say, paddle boards, canoes, stuff like that?
Yeah, so that's actually coincidentally based down in Wexford as well, and they do. They're a lovely business, and they provide. They do different services, different kayaking services, but you can do family trips. So they have a canoe, and now they do stipulate that your dog does have to be comfortable with water, and you have to bring your own life jacket and stuff. But you can take your family trip. They'll take you out, and your dog can get in I don't know if you can see. There's a picture there of a big green boat, and there's a dog sitting in the front of it, and you can actually go on a little adventure if you want down the River Slaney and put the dog in it. So if you thought your dog would stay in the boat and you were confident, I just think it's a brilliant idea.
I'd actually be worried that Bruno would tip me over deliberately. That's like I'm looking at the dog here on the front of the boat, and that's actually such a cool picture even to have up there. But
brilliant.
I genuinely think Bruno or Millie would like just knock me out of the boat and just be like, bye.
Yeah, I think my big lad would capsize the boat now as well. I think we'd all be going on a trip down the water.
Okay, and what other kind of things that are around the country for dog owners to like do with their dogs?
Yeah, something that before I set up the website, actually genuinely never even thought to Google or to look it up. So it's probably my ignorance as well. But is the ferry companies around Ireland are actually very dog friendly. So down in Dublin, you have the Dublin to Arran ferry company, and you can go out to Arran Islands and they allow your dog on the ferry. And I'm dying to get down and do that. I think that's brilliant. There's island ferries up in Dublin, so you can go out around Dublin, around Host there, and you can bring your dog on your trip as well. So that's another idea, and that's another brilliant idea. There's another down on the Shannon. You can actually rent boats that you can self-drive yourself and go on holidays, and you can bring your dog on. They're called the Shannon Cruises. I think there's a couple of companies, and you can bring your dog on a little boat trip down the Shannon if you want, which seems pretty cool as well. And I would have never thought to Google something like that before. I never even thought it existed out there as well. So it's brilliant. I actually just put up on Instagram yesterday that the Irish National Stud is dog friendly in Kildare, and that got a huge response because I don't think anybody knew that. Now I think the important thing just to say about that is dogs must be on leads there, obviously because of the animals, but you can walk around the grounds and the Japanese gardens there, and they are dog friendly, which is cool. There's the Dunbrody Famine Ship in Wexford Town. You can actually bring your dog on that tour as well if you want. I think there's certain areas you mightn't be able to go into all of them, but you can do, I think, the majority of the tour as well. Yeah.
I'm actually just even looking on the Instagram page here now, like, and pretty sure is that a photo? That's down in Killen, Guggen Barra. That's not down in Kerry, is it? Or the one, the picturesque church.
Barra, with the church?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, the hotel there, I'm not sure if it is, but the walks around it and the lake is, that's, is it on the Cork? It's the Cork-Kerry border, isn't it?
That's the one, yeah. I've definitely come across that before.
It's a fab place, yeah, really good. There's loads of walks and hikes around there.
But, like, even you mentioned there the National Store, the Japanese gardens, like, they're, like, such huge spots now for people as well. And, where is it? Down in, isn't there Powers Court as well, I believe, in down near Enniskerry, isn't that, I believe, dog friendly as well? The grounds on Powers Court.
Grounds, yeah, they probably are. Yeah, I didn't actually know that myself now. There you go. But yeah, they're dog friendly.
And okay, so obviously, like, a lot of people are going to be staycation in this year because, like, well, it's going to be no sun holidays. We don't know where this whole COVID thing is going to take us, but look, at least we're kind of coming towards the end of it anyway. So, as we come out of COVID now, and as we hopefully get back to some normality, do you think that you're going to see this trend keep up? That a lot more pubs, a lot more restaurants, a lot more hotels are going to become more dog friendly?
Yeah, look, it's something that has crossed my mind. That I hope the good vibes, the good dog friendly vibes, the good puppuccinos and the takeaway coffees do stay when everybody's back up and running and it's there. I do think it's a benefit for we're still all going to be here with our dogs. We're not just tourists traveling around. We're still going to be here. We're still going to be wanting to do the same things at the weekends and walk and go to cafes and go to restaurants and go to beaches. So I definitely think businesses should stay on track the way they are now for being dog friendly. I do think it's only going to even get better. I'm going to say, like, the likes of Spain and France and Italy, where you can bring your dog in and you don't even have to ask. It's just considered normal that you can bring your dog in and they can go everywhere. I know my uncle, he goes on holidays every year to Austria, to the ski slopes in January, and he's the type of person he goes on the same week every year to the same place. But there's another family who do the same thing, and I'm not sure where they're from, but they have this giant dog. So he just loves, because he knows every year he's going to go down for breakfast in the hotel, and that same couple with the same dog is going to be there having the buffet breakfast with everybody else. Like, so hopefully we get to that.
Absolutely. And I'm even just looking here on the website, like, obviously for a lot of people who can't take their dog away, like, say for example, if the dog is older and not able to go off on the adventure like they were when they were a little puppy, you have a lot of I suppose a lot of kennels, a lot of doggy daycares and stuff like that on here as well. Like, that's another thing that's really grown in Ireland over the last few years. Doggy daycares, I suppose dog hotels, really, like somewhere for your dog to say, get their own little holiday.
Yeah, and it's actually, there's a reason I had it there, because again, myself, I was looking for them, and not everybody would have a website, or not everybody would have everything, and you kind of had to be on Instagram, maybe trying to find, you might find some places, but you mightn't find one close to you or whatever. So I really wanted to have places that you could put it out there and you could quickly see, is there doggy daycares in Carlow? Is there one in Dublin? I want to go on holidays, and people can review them if they want, so you could get good feedback, and you could see what kind of places they're going to, because I do think it's just as important. And I know there's places that you don't even need to be going on holidays or going away. That I know I used to go to a place here in Carlow as well, the Happy Campers Hotel, and I didn't get that. Sorry, could you try? That's Siri. Sorry, talking to me. That they were brilliant, because people just actually sent their dogs there just to have a day out, to exercise, to socialise, to play with other dogs. You don't always have to be going away. You can, if you can send them in, even when you're working, and I think it's actually brilliant. Like, yeah.
And for businesses who want to actually feature on your website, how do they submit their listing? How do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so it's free to list. There's no stipulation or anything. You can list. You can do two things. You can go straight to the website and there's a submit listing button, just on the top right-hand corner. And you can also go to our Instagram page to the link in the bio, and you can just pick the different link. If you're a product, if you're accommodation, if you're a cafe, you can just click on them links and you can add yourself there, and you can get listed straight away.
That's fantastic, Marion. And listen, very best of luck with the website, and hope all goes well. And hopefully we do see this dog friendliness continue in Ireland. It's great to see it. It's great to see so many venues finally opening up their doors to our four-legged family members. And may this lockdown finally end as well, so we can all get back on staycations. And thanks again to Marion Doyle from dogfriendlyireland.ie for joining us on the show today. So it's been a great episode, and it was great to actually have this one today to coincide with the reopening of all of our social venues, such as restaurants, bars, cafes, you name it. All for outdoor dining, of course, but it's also great to see hotels open. Like, now we can go away again on staycations. We have so much to look forward to over the month of June, and we're finally starting to see a bit of normality after this long, I can't even go on with the length of time that this pandemic has been going on. It has worn us all down, and I think now we're just so happy to begin back out and doing our usual things. And it's obviously great for our mental health as well. We do have our little furry babies who I suppose definitely have helped with our mental health over the last 12 to 15 months. But just being able to get back out and do something normal again is just fantastic. But I, for one, am going to head off, and I'm going to have a beautiful pint outdoors today. Let's hope the rain stays away. It would be really nice if it did. And in the meantime, if you would like to find out more about the Big Bark, so you can go to our Instagram, you can go to our Facebook, our Twitter, our TikTok. We are at the Big Bark Podcast on all of those. We also have our Patreon page launching very soon, and I'll have more details on that hopefully next week about the different merchandise. Speaking of merchandise, we do have some fantastic bandanas from Pretty Little Pup with the Big Bark logo coming to our store very shortly, that will be available to actually buy on our store as well. And next week we have a great episode. Later this week, this Thursday I should say, we have a great episode, and that is with Positive Fitness to talk about, I better get this right now, to talk about Canicross. Apologies, Louise, if I got that wrong again, because I'm constantly doing it. Bike train, scootering, so just general doggy fitness. So that's something that everyone can do now that lockdown is ending too. I've seen the photos covered head to toe in absolute muck, and when I spoke during the recording session with Louise from Positive Fitness, we compared it to Tough Mudder for dogs without all the absolute torture that Tough Mudder brings with it. We also have coming up next week, we have the Haven Rescue will be on to talk to us, which we're really looking forward to hearing from those guys over in County Tipperary about all the amazing work that they do for, I suppose, the lost and stray animals and neglected animals throughout Tipperary and I suppose just that general region. And then the following week we will be welcoming back Samantha Rawson from the Canine College. So wonderful dog trainer there. Great that we're going to be having Samantha back. We will have some more exciting guests coming your way over the next few weeks, over the next couple of months, and we're really looking forward to all of that. So from all of us here at the Big Bark, from myself, from Bruno, from Millie, give your doggies lots of hugs over the next few days. Make sure your doggies are very hydrated. That goes for all your animals too in this, I suppose, fairly warm weather. Make sure that they're kept nice and cool. a number of stores do some fantastic products, such as the pet cooling mats, like Home Savers, for example, have those, and they're really good. Get your doggy swimming pool. You can pick them up for cheap enough, for about 15-20 quid. So just make sure your doggies stay lovely and cool for all of this really hot weather. But I'm just going to stop waffling now, because I realise I've been waffling for the last 4 minutes, which is 4 minutes that I could have been on my way to the pub and going for that point. Anyway, have a great week, and I'll talk to you all next week.
The Big Bark, listen up dog owners, it's for you, all you canine lovers. It's your favourite podcast, The Big Bark, with your host Darragh Bourke and canine co-hosts Bruno and Millie. The Big Bark,